I have been working on a translation and commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. I'm also going to do a separate book, which is the Bhagavad Gita in Light of Christ. That's the title I have for it right now. It might change, but that's the working title at the moment. This is probably going to take a couple of years to do all this. It's going to take a year just to do the translation and the commentary. I did another book called Simply A Course in Miracles. This book took several years, but when I actually got to writing it, it didn't take too long, but it took a while to compile it. One thing I did in this book was I brought some of what I would call the perennial philosophy of humankind, and I brought in a bunch of different thinkers from over the centuries and scriptures to bring to light how they are similar to A Course in Miracles, or how A Course in Miracles is similar to them. So let's read the part on the Bhagavad Gita. We're going to read this section that combines some of the quotes from the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. We're talking about going back 3,000 years ago, from 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. So this is even before the time of Christ. This wisdom was in the Hindu tradition from way back. It might have influenced Christianity, for all we know. I don't know if we really know for sure or not. It might have even influenced the writers of the Hebrew Bible. But here we go. By the way, the Upanishads were earlier than the Gita, and the Bhagavad Gita is called an Upanishad. The Upanishads is a genre of literature that some of which goes deep into the subject of yoga and yoga philosophy. And one of the basic ideas is that yoga is when the small self, the Atman, realizes that it is Brahman, that it is really not the small self, but it is the eternal reality, which is Brahman. Here we go. The one who sees me in everything, and everything within me, will not be lost to me, nor will I ever be lost to him. This is Krishna. Krishna as the formless, unmanifested Brahman who is in manifest form is speaking these words. The one who sees me in everything, and everything within me, will not be lost to me, nor will I ever be lost to him. Next quote. The one who is rooted in oneness realizes that I am in every being. Wherever that one goes, they remain in me. Next one. When one sees all being as equal in suffering or in joy, because they are like oneself, that one has grown perfect in yoga. And again, yoga is the spiritual practice leading to oneness. So when one sees all being as equal in suffering or in joy, because they are like oneself, that one has grown perfect in yoga. The wise grieve neither for the living nor the dead. There was never a time when you and I and all the kings gathered here have not existed, and nor will there be a time when we will cease to exist. This is in chapter 2 of the Gita, where Krishna is telling Arjuna, even though you think you're going to fight this battle against these kings and all these kinsmen of yours, but the reality is life is eternal. There is no death. They alone see truly who see the Lord the same in every creature, who see the deathless in the hearts of all that die. Seeing the same Lord everywhere, they do not harm themselves or others. Thus they attain the supreme goal. They live in wisdom who see themselves in all and all in them, who have renounced every selfish desire and self-craving, tormenting the heart. I'll read that one again. They live in wisdom who see themselves in all and all in them, who have renounced every selfish desire and sense-craving, tormenting the heart. Last one. One who sees all beings in the self alone and the self of all beings feels no hatred by virtue of that understanding. For the seer of oneness who knows all beings to be the self, where is delusion and sorrow? Where is anger and hatred? Right? When you realize that there's only one self and we're all it. And I heard a quote yesterday, kind of a paradoxical statement. There is no God and Jesus was his son. The way I would put it is, there is no God and we're all it. Or you could say, there is no God and we're all his son. God in the sense of, because our concept of God is always limited, right? So in that sense, there is no God, because God is beyond all concepts. All that is, the only thing that really gets close to it is the idea that we are all part of God, and we cannot not be part of God. We cannot be intrinsically connected. Now, whether that means we're absolutely one with God or we're partially one with God, that's an open question. Anyway, thank you for listening, and more coming. This book is called Simply A Course in Miracles. It can be found on Amazon if you're interested. I believe it's pretty good as an intro to A Course in Miracles, with the caveat that everything that people write and say about A Course in Miracles is really interpretive. All right, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.